You're listening to the Did You Hear Show.
Yo, morning, folks.
With your host, Jason Garvey.
Yo, what's happening, folks? Welcome, Did You Hear? Bollocks. I'll just start again, leave it on, yeah? Leave it on.
Let it run, my pros.
Yo, what's happening, folks? Welcome back to the Did You Hear Show. I am Jason.
I'm Jay.
And we are joined today by the one and only Eric Byrne.
How you doing, guys?
Eric, what's happening, brother?
Not too bad. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you enjoying this weather?
Oh, Jesus. I don't think we're accustomed to this weather.
Oh,
It's
such a crying country, aren't we?
That's it, yeah.
We cry when it rains and we cry when it's
That's
too
it.
sunny.
And it's only when we get used to it, it goes back to normal then, you know?
we're all wearing white, aren't we?
Yeah, that's it.
That's the problem, Eric. You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Like, it's hot for 4 days, you get burned on the first and hide for the other 3. You know?
Yeah.
You don't get a week of it where you can just hit your little flow and go with it.
Yeah.
Oh, in fairness, I'm not a big fan of the heat anyway. Like, even when I go away, you'd catch me indoors more than you would outdoors,
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
I don't know if I was saying this with you or Martin, but like with a holiday, I think it was you, Martin. With a holiday, like you have that time to prepare for it, where you're mentally like ready for it. You know, you want to get away and you'll drink in the sun or whatever. But when it's here and you're not prepared, no, I don't do well.
And
I don't like it at all.
Jay brought up the fact that we're all wearing white. I think it's to bring out our farmers' tan.
Yeah, this is completely unplanned, by the way. This isn't by design.
The drumstick arms, isn't that what they call them?
That's exactly it.
Yeah, did you ever see them pictures, did you?
Drumstick arms,
Yeah. Eric, what's happening?
How are you?
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much for having me.
What do you think of the studio?
It's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah?
Love the work you do as well. Yeah, it's great.
Blessed we had the elevator, aren't we?
Oh, 100%. His name is Jay.
That was Jason, that's Jay.
Oh, sorry.
I'm getting credit that I didn't deserve.
So, Eric, talk to us. You reached out letting us know that you were starting your own podcast and that you wanted a bit of advice, but I actually said, look, why don't you come on our show, talk about your own show, talk about your ideas and kind of what started it all. So give us a little rundown about yourself, Eric.
So basically, I was born with a disability called spina bifida,
Okay.
which is a coverage of the spine,
Yeah.
and at the end of the spine there's a bag kind of thing.
Right.
It's like a tumor kind of thing,
Right.
and like some people are okay with it going through their lives, and then some people have to get removed quickly
Right.
because it'll affect them.
Yeah.
So I have mine removed.
Right.
Yeah, and I also have an added-on disability called Hydrocophis, which is a tube going from my brain down into my abdomen, and it drains excess fluid from the brain,
Right.
because people with my disability are born with excess fluid on the brain,
Okay.
and it could push against the brain and cause severe brain damage. So
And what's the effects of that?
it will probably leave you paralysed and stuff like that.
No, like, is there a day-to-day effect of that? Obviously, spina bifida, is that what, did I get that right, yeah?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Obviously that led you to be in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
But with the other disease, has that have any day-to-day impact?
Not really, because when you're a child, like, you have to get the tube removed and replaced, say every 3 to 5 years. But when you move into adulthood, your body settles down, obviously, so you're not growing as much.
Right.
So it kind of settles down, and so far, touch wood, I haven't had to have it replaced or anything like that.
Right.
But when the tube does disconnect, which I've had, I remember the pain from when I was a kid, like, it causes severe headaches and stuff like that.
Right. Like
if
a migraine type.
Like, if you think about a migraine, it'd be that 10 times over, you know? Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Would that be a pain that once it happens, you knew exactly what it was?
Exactly, yeah. And as well as that, it's a pressure pain as well. So you know exactly, like, what's going on, do you know what I mean?
And you've suffered that from day one, like?
I was born with it, and it was only when they were doing tests. See, I was born in St. James's Hospital.
Right.
And then I was christened straight away in the hospital and rushed to Our Lady's Hospital in Crumlin.
Right.
And stayed there for 3 months till they found out everything that was wrong with me, like, you know.
Yeah.
Not wrong with me, but like...
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. All the challenges you face,
that's
basically.
it, yeah.
Get your wording right in time for a podcast. Yeah, you'll be slated.
What were the obstacles you had to face then growing up? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, in a society, especially in Clondalkin,
Yeah.
you know, like, it's not always the nicest area.
Yeah. I think a lot of it went down to a lack of understanding. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was discriminated against a lot because of, like, the people that were around our area. You know, because you kind of grew up around there, but I used to be slagged a lot and discriminated and stuff like that. But, like, I was very upset about it at the time, obviously because I was a child, this, that, and the other, right? But now, when you move into adulthood and you gain a better understanding of all, it's just a lack of understanding to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uneducated,
Yeah,
basically.
that's it. Yeah.
And like, obviously, how young were you in a wheelchair? Like, what age were you put in a wheelchair?
I'm pretty sure for the first 4 years of my life, when I was eventually let out of hospital, I actually didn't get out of hospital until I was 6 months.
Right.
And then when they finally let me out and everything was okay, I used to go around with this big blue buggy that you used to get in the hospitals back in the 90s.
Right.
Yeah. So I spent, I'd say, the first 4 years of my life in that.
Right.
Before I actually got my first wheelchair.
Yeah.
This was a tiny little thing, but it got me around.
Do you remember your first wheelchair?
Yeah, it was a little red thing.
Right.
Yeah, I used to love the colour red.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
say, oh, here's that bleeding fly again. He hasn't left since last time. I was gonna say, like, you getting that new red wheelchair, was that like the equivalent of, let's say, now I hope I'm not being offensive here, would that be like the equivalent of us getting like a new bike?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, it'd probably be even more powerful than
Yeah.
that. Because obviously it's to help you move around on your
Exactly.
day-to-day basis. But do you still get that little buzz, like if you're getting new wheelchairs and all?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
like that little
Yeah.
feeling that?
Because I go through a lot of trouble with my chairs breaking down
Right.
for no reason, like through no fault of my own.
The NCT, Daddy?
Yeah. They'd kick me out if they tried to NCT my stuff. So, yeah, like, going back to my childhood, when I got my first wheelchair, it was a sense of independence that I got.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
yeah.
like when I got my first chair, I was able to move around the house and stuff like that. But my mum would still not trust me to leave the
100%.
garden
Yeah,
and stuff. And you remember they used to tie the gates with the plastic
yeah,
bags.
yeah.
And
People
Your
still do
man's
that
still
to this
doing
day.
that, yeah.
you just knew you weren't opening that gate. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So even just to be out in the garden in my wheelchair doing my own thing was great. Like,
But was there a big jump in, obviously, confidence as well, from going to the big blue buggy, let's say, that probably would have stood out like a sore thumb,
big time.
versus getting into the wheelchair? Like, did that help boost your confidence? Like, did you feel more normal, I suppose, from everyone obviously judging you from being in a pram and saying, why the fuck is he in a pram at such an older age? Like,
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. It helped me feel included more.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With people within my own age, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was asked to do more things because I was in the wheelchair.
Yeah, you had a bit more independence.
That's
like,
it. And people didn't know what wheelchair was
Yeah,
at the time, and they were like, "Oh, let's try this out. Bring him out for the day and
yeah.
see what the story is." You know?
Were you ever scared? Like, I'm assuming, obviously, when as gradually time went on, your ma would have gained trust in yourself and in your friends to, let's say, manoeuvre you around the area or whatever. Like, did you, like, I'd say that's a scary position to be in. Obviously, after a couple of years, you're confident in your ability of controlling the wheelchair. But then someone else being in control. Like, I've been around it a lot as a young fella, Eric, and I know that people wound you up in the wheelchair, and some people even took advantage of you in the wheelchair, acting the bollocks. And I was like, it's not fucking funny, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what was that like?
Yeah, like some of the times it was scary. Like, even my own family, my brothers and stuff like that. They just love taking the piss out of me. Like,
Yeah.
So, you were very good with friends with me brother Ian at the time.
Yeah.
And he used to love testing me patience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he'd bring me to Liffey Valley, but then he'd see a flight of stairs and say, "Oh, wonder what the wheelchair be like going down there." Do you know what I mean? And like, it'd be things like that. I'd be petrified, but they'd get a great laugh out of it. Do you know what I mean?
But obviously, the older you've grown now, you can see the
Yeah.
kind of funny side of it as well. And being honest, I'll be 100% here. Like, some of the times I thought your family went a bit too far as well. Like, with
Yeah.
aim wine you up and all. But
Yeah.
now, as we grow older, I can kind of see, especially with how your family are,
Yeah.
I would assume now, looking back, that they were just trying to toughen you up.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Try and roughen you up so you're well able of anyone taking advantage of you, making fun of you, looking at you in funny ways. Because you know yourself now, like I've been driving past you and people shouting Hot Wheels at you and you're saying all your funny jokes and everything else. So it's good to see that. Like I genuinely put that down to your brothers and obviously your family, the way they went down with everything, because it could go one or two ways. You could be depressed as fuck. You could be fat as fuck sitting in your room playing PlayStation all day, which you probably do a lot anyway, judging by the past. But I'm sure that helped you gain confidence, and obviously
100%.
you're well able now. But at this stage now, Eric, what's it like? Like, what's the feedback like?
Going back to what you were saying before, I think every disabled person should be treated the way I was as a kid, like, because that made me feel normal.
Yeah.
In a way, you know what I mean?
Part of society.
Exactly. Because me disability wasn't highlighted in any way, you know what I mean? And with them, like, some of the Facebook posts they put up about me is crazy, like, and it probably offend other people, but doesn't offend me, like.
Yeah, but your group of mates though that you have,
yeah,
like the likes, I won't name them on it, but like, we know your core of mates who I played football with. You know, they're all messing bastards.
Yeah.
So you know what you're getting into when you're around them, regardless. Do you know what I mean?
But I love all that because it makes me feel inclusive. Do you know what I mean? That they can see past the disability.
Yeah.
And like they can use my disability as a way of having a laugh. Do you know
Look,
what I mean?
You all have matching tattoos, don't you? You and all your mates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the wheelchair, the three stick man. Yeah. I tell you what, one thing that I always say, and a lot of people used to fucking get annoyed at me over, but I just don't give a bollocks, right? If I seen a black fella, if I seen a redhead, if I seen a fat person, I'd call them fat, I'd call them redhead, I'd call them black. My cousin is handicapped as well. When she's there, I'd be always messing with her or whatever. Like, I think that it's okay to mess with people, and it's okay for people to call me fat. I'm fat, do you know what I mean? Make a joke of it. It's fine. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is.
I love the way you looked at me there, but thanks.
He's just big
He
bone.
slated me last night at football, by the way. But then I nuts him and scored a cracker.
He doesn't give a bollocks about anybody's feelings. Don't mind him.
He's right.
Look, man, just calm down. Right? We'll talk about it later. Yeah? But no, I think it is. I agree with that. I think like you should be able to have the banter. I don't like people kind of holding back on slaggings and stuff, because that'll make you feel excluded then. Do you know what I mean? Right, it's okay for you to call him fat, but it's not okay to call me whatever. Fucking, I don't know what they fucking say. Hot Wheels is the thing that keeps on coming to mind, because that's what everyone used to say to you when I was around. But I'm sure there's a lot more. You've actually gave me a few throughout the years, and I'm breaking me bollocks laughing. I never heard that one before.
But
that's what I thought.
Sorry?
I thought you was.
I
your
had
mic
to
on?
change it though,
Oh, did you?
because I was in college and I didn't look professional. Do you know what I mean? So
Is your mic on? Alright.
So I just think with things like that.
Yeah, volume was all the way down though, was it? Yeah, there you go.
You hear that now?
Yeah, definitely could hear that. I could hear the fan and all.
Yeah, so for the first 6 minutes, he's just silent.
You
again.
can now. We can still hear you in the background.
Yeah.
I could hear them in there.
Yeah, it's probably as well we didn't.
It's a running joke on this show. My audio's never wrong. This is like 3 in and every time the audio's been wrong.
Oh, stop. I'm at that actually ordering a new mic stand, right? They're like this, but they're low profile, they're called. So they actually mount to the front of the desks and they come across. You know, like, do you ever see on, like, trying to think of all the American
podcasts.
Yeah, like Hot 98 FM and all these.
Yeah.
Do you ever see them mics that kind of are long and then they come up like this? I'm after ordering one of them to test it out. I think it might be better than this.
Yeah.
You can manoeuvre them the whole lot. So I'm after buying one. They're £100. If they're better than these, we'll use them. It'll be easier for the likes of Eric.
Yeah.
Smaller people. It'll be easier for Martin with his new mic that I still haven't brought down.
You're calling me a midget.
You said it without saying it.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
I just wanted to pick up on one point.
Yeah, fire away.
Regarding like the slagging and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of easier than holding back, as you said. Like, because then it becomes real intense between the person. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What will I say? What can I say? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you never progress forward in a friendship if you can't.
Well, that's what I was
slag
going to
them.
ask you.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever find people are very kind of closed off around you, or very like awkward because they don't know what to say?
Exactly.
Like they're afraid to offend you.
Yeah.
I was one of them. I was one of them. When I first became friends with Ian, I was in your gaff nearly every day of the week.
Yeah.
And me and Ian were like that. Like, we were best mates for probably about 3 or 4 years. And every time I went up to the gaff, they'd
Oh,
be
you were going to
bleeding.
say you were scissoring.
No. Every time I went up to the gaff, they'd be fucking giving them stick and fucking rolling them out to the kitchen, leaving them there and running off and all. Do you know what I mean? Just acting the bollocks with them. But I was always uncomfortable as to thinking, am I able to say this or will they take offense? Is it only a family thing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there is that awkwardness as well. But
Yeah.
once you get past that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I think that's where you obviously are more comfortable around your friends, and
Yeah.
it kind of lets people stand out then to who's who, like, do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like when I'm talking to people, I'm the first one to make the joke about my disability.
And that kind of breaks
To
the
break
ice.
that barrier,
Yeah. So give us your best one. What's your best one?
My brother put up a Facebook post one time.
Michael,
Michael,
of course.
I'm thinking you've seen it. I don't know whether you've seen
I
it.
probably
or not.
did.
But he's actually I have two of them. I'll give you two
Yeah,
examples.
give us the
right?
two of them.
So the first example was he put up a status saying Eric's very excited. We only got the bathroom done up, but I don't know why, because he can't go up the stairs to see it.
Unless you get one of them bleeding lifts that
Stair
you can
lifts,
get, yeah.
They're expensive. I'd rather have a bedroom downstairs. Sleep in the kitchen.
Right, what's the second one?
So the second one, Jesus Christ, I don't know how I didn't get into trouble for this. So he hacked into my Facebook page one time, right?
Right, I think I remember this.
And he put up, I'm stuck on what's that bridge? The Palmerstown Bridge. And it was teeming down at the time. And he put up, oh, my chair's gone dead. Can someone come up and help me? Jay, about 7 people ran up to the bridge at the same time. In the pissings of rain, absolutely drenched to the skin. And there's me looking at my phone, and they're all posting pictures to me saying, you little bastard, I'm up at the bridge. And you're there sitting, drinking a cup of tea, you know? Oh my God.
You absolutely did not get hacked. You done that yourself. Admit it.
To be continued.
Just to test the waters, can we do it again now? I'm trying to get people to go somewhere.
There's another thing for me podcast.
Let's see how far we can get people to go.
That's it.
Oh,
I'm
stop.
stuck in Germany.
But come here, Eric, tell us, give us a bit of an insight to what it's like growing up in a wheelchair, because obviously as much as we see, we've no idea, do you know what I mean? We don't see the day-to-day stuff, like even you getting in the car and stuff today, like I've never witnessed that before. I don't know how hard or how easy that is for you, you know? And it's things like that we all take for granted. Literally the simple things, like what is it like obviously it's the norm to you, you know no different.
Okay.
But like, do you ever, I don't want to say
Is it like embarrassment or something?
I was gonna say jealousy in a way, because I'm
Yeah, well, it could.
oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Where you were going as well. Yeah.
Like what kind of on a day to day, like what's the challenges that you face, and then we'll get into the other side of it.
Yeah. I'll cover both of what you said. Embarrassment, probably around, like toilet related issues and stuff like that.
Yeah, when you need a shite, like
Yeah.
you can say what you want.
You're on wiping his arse, right? I'm not.
Actually, I need one now, lad. No, but
Shall we record it?
yeah. Look, I have bowel issues and bladder issues
Right.
down to me disability.
Give me that fucking water.
There's actually a puddle underneath. But
That where that rubber duck came from.
quack quack. But yeah, like I'd find most of that stuff embarrassing if like I have to get changed, like say twice a day,
Right.
in the morning and in the evening. But if I'm not close to my house at a certain time, it'd just leak out.
Yeah.
And, like you'd get a certain smell or whatever.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I'd find that stuff embarrassing.
But surely most of the times, I'm assuming when that happens, you're with your friends who are well aware of that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's obviously
Yeah, like
that takes away.
Like my disability, they'd see past that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And-
but
And they'd make me feel as comfortable as I can be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just say, forget about it. We'll get you close to your house
Exactly.
and-
And look, there's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
it's out of your control, Eric, it's out of your control.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah.
And I'm sure you've grown out of feeling embarrassed now. Have you? Or have you?
100%.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's nothing to be fucking
Yeah.
embarrassed about. Do you know
Just
what I
goes
mean?
over your head. Like,
Yeah, it is what it is.
You learn to live with it. Like, but in terms of what was the other
Jealousy.
point? Jealousy. Yeah. Look, I used to love watching my brothers and all my mates playing heads.
I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah.
At the end of the road, and used to boot the ball against the wall.
Yeah,
They actually
yeah.
made a goalpost carved into the
Yeah,
wall.
yeah.
Not sure how legal that was, but they done it anyway. But yeah, like I used to love watching them, and I would have loved to be part of that.
Yeah.
But they made me feel included in a way that they'd be
You're
like,
not just throw it in goal. That sounds like
Yeah.
something they would have done.
Jeez, they would have. I already look disabled. I don't want to look even more disabled. But
You'd be good for a header though.
that's it. But yeah, like they used to like, oh, watch this shot or watch this diving header or what way will I score next? You know what I mean?
Yeah, try and include you in that way.
Yeah. So like it was very good like that, but it never replaced the jealousy of wanting to be on the road playing with them.
Even
you know?
now, like you're a
Yeah.
big football fan now, you're into your FIFA and
yeah.
you're a United fan, like so. I'd
Yeah.
say like the thought of not being able to play football, like I play football twice a week. I've been playing football my whole life, like so. I can only imagine if you're a fan of the sport and not being able to play it, like.
Yeah.
But have you ever got into any sports?
Yeah, I tried. I was involved with the wheelchair basketball with the IWA, Irish Wheelchair Association.
Right.
Now, I was with that for about 3 or 4 months, but it was getting taxis back and forward. You know, it just became expensive. Like,
Yeah, it was a hassle for you.
yeah. So that's what like some of the stuff I want to cover in my podcast is getting places like that closer to
Okay.
where I
right.
live. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here, let's talk about that a little bit. So we'll touch on your podcast first. So you reached out to me and asked for a bit of advice on the podcast, Eric. So tell us first the name of the podcast.
So the name of my podcast is called The Wheel Deal.
The Wheel Deal.
Yeah.
Right, very good.
So basically, it's based around you know, accessibility and inclusiveness
Right.
Yeah.
for people with disabilities in Ireland.
Yeah. First of all, before you continue,
Okay.
do you know of anyone else who's in a wheelchair doing a podcast?
Yeah.
You do? Irish?
Yeah.
Okay, who are they? Do you want to...
Yeah, her name is Niamh Dunphy.
Right.
She
She's your cousin, is she?
no, we went to school together.
Who did you say?
Kevin Dunphy was in
Kevin Dunphy. Oh, I thought you said Emma Dunphy. Is Emma Dunphy your
yeah,
cousin?
they're cousins of mine.
Yeah. That's who I thought
Yeah,
you
yeah.
said. Sorry.
She was in our year as well, was she?
Who?
Emma Dunphy.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
No
Right.
dirty stories, lads. Yeah, same.
Right, so did she give you any inspiration on that? No.
Yeah, it just taught me that like there should be more disabled people that do content creation
Mm-hmm.
around. Do you know what I mean?
No, 100% agree.
And I thought her idea was brilliant. Like her podcast, the name of her podcast is Irish Music Gems.
Right.
So she interviews local Irish talent
Okay.
from around Ireland.
Very good,
like,
yeah.
They wouldn't necessarily be as big.
Yeah, they'd be
But-
breaking into the market or whatever.
Yeah. So I just thought that was a great idea, and from seeing her doing that, I was like, why can't I? Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of course,
Yeah, of
yes.
Yeah.
Right, so... Sorry, Jay, go ahead.
Did you feel like you were kind of limited in what you could do?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
like before the podcast, did you have that like kind of brainstorming thing where you're like, what can I do? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're kind of restricted in a sense.
Yeah, I was thinking of lots of ideas, like football related stuff, and then like it wouldn't come across as well.
Well, not even the podcast, like anything in general. Like,
Well,
it was
hold
just,
on,
like,
hold
something
on.
to
Why
do.
do you think it wouldn't come across as well? Because you didn't play the game?
Yeah, or some cunt
No.
in a wheelchair talking about football. Like,
No, we disagree with that.
Don't
We
feel
dis-
bad about it. The two boys talk about it all the time.
Says the fucking Arsenal fan.
Martin might as well have been in a wheelchair last night because I put him on his deck about 3 times. Sitting on Muria,
If you could play the game the way you talk about the game, mate,
would be a black belt.
still be shy.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people that watch football religiously can sometimes know more about people that
Yeah.
play it.
yeah,
Like if you're analysing the game
Yeah, yeah.
all the time and you're not just focusing on certain parts, like when you're playing football, you're focused on your games, you know what I mean? But if you're looking on the outside, you can see more, do you know what I mean? You're not
Exactly.
focusing, unless you're watching your brother and maybe you're focusing more on him.
yeah,
but
and you're favouring one person.
yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
say you need to play football to fully understand or be able to be respected in the world of football about
yeah.
having a conversation around it. Like,
And that goes down to inclusion as well.
mm.
I'd love for disabled people like me to be given a go at, you know, managing local teams and stuff like that, and see how it comes about. Do you know what I mean? Like, fair enough, they might get them relegated.
But did you? No, why did stop doing that? Will you? Why do you think that? Why do you think that they might get relegated? What's the difference with you managing the team and me managing the team?
Man's crying over there.
You might get them relegated.
No, what the fuck? Like, what? Don't do that.
Okay.
There's no need for that. Like, what?
You're selling yourself short.
What makes me a better manager than you? Honestly,
I haven't a clue, to be honest. Like,
I probably would be a better manager, but I'm just asking.
you'd be more hands-on.
But no, Eric, like, you have, like, being honest with you, I always thought, I don't know why, obviously, no, I do know why, because your brother was a DJ and David was always, your family are kind of musical, they're all into that music and whatever, the tunes are always bopping. But I always thought you were going to be a DJ.
Follow suit, yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
you, like, because I think it's very achievable.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? If you might need a little smaller desk than this studio desk, but you know what I mean.
It's not very wheelchair accessible in here.
It's well suitable for you. Like, it's something that you could definitely do that
Yeah.
you wouldn't be held back from being in a wheelchair. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, what type of things did you want to get into that you felt like maybe even back then, maybe a couple of years ago, that you couldn't do that you now feel, no, I fucking can do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the podcast is one, but like the broader,
Yeah. I'm studying radio production and programming
right?
in college now. But before I settled on this course, I was doing music production.
Right.
So that's kind of something that I wanted to do. But see, the thing with me is it's a lot down to self-confidence. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. Yeah.
Like the way you're trying to big me up here, I beat myself up loads of times.
But I'll be honest, I'm not even trying to beat you up.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely not. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you the truth.
Yeah.
Like, like you said to me, I'll probably get relegated in my fourth season.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah, exactly.
Like why? There's no reason why you should ever go into a job and think, oh, I'm gonna fail because I'm in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, manager doesn't need to be able to dribble.
Exactly.
He just needs to be able to talk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all you need to be able to do.
Yeah.
If Maradona lost his legs, he'd still be able to go in and manage a football.
Yeah.
Well, not now, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Probably in heaven.
Too soon, Jay. For fuck.
Probably in heaven.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I honestly wasn't hyping you up. I was just being 100% honest with you. Like, do you know what I mean?
But like I sound a bit of a hypocrite now because I want to change the way people think of people.
So you're
Sit in.
low in self-esteem, but yet you're pushing to change that narrative for other people.
Exactly.
Right, so you need to focus on you first
Before I change
before you
other
can start
yeah.
bettering other people.
Yeah.
Is this primarily what you want this podcast to do?
Yeah. To help myself as well as others.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's why you done it, Jay.
But
No?
there's a thing to that, Eric, honest to God. I, with the job I'm in now, me 9 to 5, we've done loads of these little day courses to make us go on. But one of them was based around...
Your mic on, yeah?
Yeah, very low still, is it?
Yeah, just hold
How's
up a
that?
little. Yeah, it's better, yeah.
Well, based around that, you were saying, just as human people, we tend to react to things negatively by default. Just when you list emotions, there's more negative than positive. Like, so fundamentally, we are wired to react negatively to new things and new challenges.
Yeah.
That shouldn't stop you from trying it, though. Do you know
Exactly, yeah.
what I mean? You're hardwired to think that way. Until
Yeah.
you've given it a bash, you could be a natural at it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just the way we all are, so don't think that's unique to yourself either.
Yeah, exactly,
We're all
yeah,
the same.
yeah.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
But I was
100%.
proud of myself the first night I came down here because it's very easy to just turn around and say, yeah, I'll do it. But when it comes to it and then actually doing it, you can just walk away and say
Yeah.
nothing. But just getting out and trying something different. You might love it, you might not like it, but you
That's
try
it.
it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like your mind can deny yourself opportunities like this. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I'd be the perfect example, Eric. I'd be the very same in that sense. Like, what you said there is, I'm very good. Like, I am an advocate for mental health. I'm very good at giving advice. I'm very good at listening. But I struggle. Do you know what I mean? I really struggle sometimes with mental health, and sometimes I need to listen to my own story in order to fucking help myself. Do you know what I mean? So that's similar to what you're trying to do. You're trying to fucking inspire people to do more when you don't believe in yourself more. Sometimes you need to listen to yourself more.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
that's
mean?
it,
And
yeah.
look, I completely resonate with that because, like I said, I'm very good at giving advice, but I'm shy at taking it. Do you know what I mean?
I think that works that way for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I've always thought I've been like quite helpful for people in terms of advice. But yet when I go through my bad days and all, I can't listen to nobody. Their advice just does not work. Like, everything's like so clouded almost. You know what I mean? That I
Yeah.
kind of just react off like my emotions rather than my sense.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
But like that's a good thing that you're doing that. But like, don't just use the podcast to help you to help yourself as well, you know.
Yeah.
Try like any little thing that you can use to better yourself outside of that, and you can bring that positive energy to your podcast.
Yeah.
And that will only benefit it.
Because my aim is not to make it all doom and gloom and this, that, and the other. I really do want to make change, like in society as well. Like, why isn't there more disabled people going to university?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or why isn't there more disabled people being employed by these high chain supermarkets and stuff like that? Do you know what I mean? I'd love to see more disabled people in society.
Right. Do you know Mark Ward?
Yeah.
He'd be a great fella to sit down and have a conversation with, because he broke down loads of barriers. He broke the mould of, like, he's the most normal fucking person you'll ever meet in your life, and look at the changes he's making. Do you know what I mean? He's doing a really good job. I'm sure he's probably even made places more accessible for you in the local community. I'm sure he's done a few bits and bobs.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of the question I wanted to go with as well. You got me on this one this week. You No, but I was going to say that. So, like, what type of guests would you plan on getting on? Like, or what genre of work do they, like, what area of work do they do that you can actually speak to and take information from? Or would it be just a structured, you talking to yourself type of thing?
The first few episodes, I'm going to introduce myself and talk about my struggles through life, like what you've done on this.
Just more in depth, obviously. Yeah.
And I think I need to do that to get a better understanding of what's to come. You know what I mean? And like, I want to eventually interview people that either are disabled themselves or have family members that are disabled.
Yeah.
To understand their struggles of getting medical equipment.
Of course, because everyone's story is different, you know? Like, just because you've had this story, someone might have a great story or a worse story.
Yeah.
So it is, I think that's a very good point when obviously, first couple of episodes, I think, grow your base, you know what I mean? Let people know who you are, what you're doing it for. Then when you're getting guests on, it'd be good to hear, obviously, you'll be able to resonate with the guests, and then the disabled community will all come together and say, look, Eric is fucking, like, we went through that as well, or like, they think this is bad, and like, he doesn't know that I went through this, and they'll probably reach out to you, and that'll help you spread the message then, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then eventually, like, not my end goal, but my biggest goal is to get a big group together and
have an orgasm.
That's from
an
you.
Orgy. An orgasm.
Yeah.
A whole lot of them are going to get together and have one orgasm.
Yeah, and I was like, that's a very, very, very bad orgy. If only one person had an orgasm.
This podcast went downhill very
talk
quick.
with him about the boards and the base. I don't think he knows how it works.
We'll have a conversation soon, Jay.
Thanks, bud. Thanks.
That's from a YouTube channel, but anyway.
Yeah, Pornhub channel.
Just to get a big group together, because I think when people fight for things individually, they're not heard.
Of course, yeah.
Whereas if they're in a big group, something's gonna have to be done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you hope to gain from the podcast? I know you're saying to get a big group together, but give us an example of change. Give us 3 examples of things that you'd like to change.
So more people included in universities, the likes of Trinity and stuff like that.
But without kind of jumping sides here, like, is that not down to the people? And like, do you think that's down to the colleges not accepting them, or do you think it's down to the lack of confidence and ability for them to go forward with these things?
Yeah, because it's not advertised enough. Do you know what I mean? That people in, not wheelchairs, but disabled people can apply for places in these colleges. But
do you think, like, I'm going to be blatantly honest with you, Eric, I don't think it should be advertised towards people in wheelchairs. I think I think the advertisement for normal people that have fucking perfectly fine bodies is the same for people that are in wheelchairs. I think if they were to put out an ad saying, or like, if you're in a wheelchair you can come to the school, that'll be discrimination, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're singling out people.
So now I could be wrong here, but I think it could be a matter of just, like yourself, being self-confident and thinking like this, self-confident, not being confident and thinking like you can't do it when you can. It only takes one person to go in, and then for others to follow suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think a lot of it is down to transport as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, if someone's living, say, in Clondalkin, say, and they want to apply for a big course in Trinity.
Yeah.
A lot of it's down to
Travel.
transport.
Right.
So, like, I'm looking for ways of how that can change. Do you know what I mean? Because when I was in school, in primary school, they used to have this big minibus.
Yeah.
And it'd collect people from all over Dublin. And sometimes Kildare and Laois and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, the busman would set out at 6:30 in the morning. Have us all in for 9:30 or whatever.
Yeah.
But why isn't there anything like that for adults who want to progress into mainstream education?
I know where you're going, yeah.
But again, right? I'm not meaning to be offensive here, but what's the difference in me and Jay going to the bus stop and you going to the bus stop to go to college?
I'll tell you why.
Yeah, they do because I want to be educated. Like if I'm out
from my
here.
point of view, like that's only accessible to one person.
Exactly.
What you mean?
Like if me,
only-
you, and
yeah.
Eric and Eric's the other girl who does a podcast say if the four of us were there,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Like it's perfectly fine for us two. Only one of them can get on.
Yeah.
There's
you know
only
what I
one,
mean?
one wheelchair spot per bus.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, if there was a
So how like that? Like it's not like it is a hard thing to kind of figure out, isn't it?
Just get Elon Musk to make some big fucking contraption. I'm sure he'd figure it out.
Like because you can't limit. Like like the first thing that popped in my head, right? Let's have buses that are just for wheelchair accessible or people with prams, but it's not really feasible, is it? You know what I mean? Like especially if they're going to. So like, have you any ideas around that? Have you thought about that, or like should there? Here's an idea. Maybe there should be like a cab company that is literally just for wheelchairs.
I think there's
Wheelchair
one
accessible,
out
yeah.
there. They're called. Not too sure of the name. I'm right gonna.
But maybe like so. Wheel people in wheelchairs have a bus pass. Do they get any discounts from taxis or anything like that? No. Well, that's what needs to be done then.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
The fees are still.
like the altruism goes out the window because at the end of the day, these people are running a business.
Yeah.
And all they cared about is how much they can make.
Yeah.
And they don't care about Eric's feelings and hairline.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, bottom line is the bottom line, and they want to make money.
No, but what I'm saying for the government,
harsh truth.
the government. No, I agree with you. But the government are losing money. Let's say, I don't know what way it works, but giving people bus passes. Yeah. So they should lose an extra bit of money for wheelchair accessible users now.
Yeah, you think, but as I'm saying, like, I know what you're saying, and it's all great looking at the world through that prism where, like, let's just make it a better place, but someone has to invest their money into making that business, if it's a business, you know what I mean? So they're looking at...
But think about it as a business. It would be very investable. It'd be very
but yeah,
profitable if the government...
Think about the way you have said it, though. Like Eric said, his bus went everywhere to collect someone. That's not a route. Like, you look at a bus route, it goes along a profitable route because it's going somewhere
Yeah.
and picks people up.
Yeah, no, I know that, but this is what I'm saying. If you got one company, let's say... Obviously, we're just talking about Dublin here.
Yeah.
But if you got, like, a company, right, let's say, I don't know, wheelchair cabs or something, yeah? Let's say they have 5 different locations over Dublin. Like, is that not something that can be done? Like, I know it'd be a big investment, but it'd be profitable for whoever does the idea, like the cab drivers and stuff would...
I see where you're going with that, and I think that should be funded through taxpayers' money.
Yeah, of course, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
that's what I'm saying.
if the people of Ireland see where their tax is going, do you know what I mean? Like, their tax money is helping people in my situation. They wouldn't mind paying tax.
Oh, 100%, but not only that, like, as Martin said, like, I know it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but there's a lot of people in wheelchairs that can make a big change and that can impact the world. Like, who says there's not an Elon Musk or Steve Jobs that's in a wheelchair? And maybe they're being prevented from being them people by not getting the transport.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So everyone deserves an equal chance to be able to...
That was the point I was trying to make, but it wasn't coming across.
Yeah, I understood it, but I obviously jumped the gun, and Jay hit the nail on the head with saying, like, there's only one fucking wheelchair, and if there's a pram in there, like, let me ask you that, because I've always...
You have to fold the pram up.
You have to...
You have to take the baby out and sit down and fold the pram up.
Oftentimes when I'm getting on the bus, the faces of some people...
I can imagine.
Yeah.
But it's not your fucking fault. Like,
exactly,
you're not going to fucking wait there for another bus, do you know what I mean?
Sometimes I have to.
But no, that's something you should definitely focus on, is definitely the transport side of things. Right, so that's one.
Yeah.
Give me another one.
I forgot we were on that topic then.
Yeah, we just went off. But that's the good thing, though. So, and then other things like, you know, public parks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There should be more playground friendly equipment for disabled people. Now,
Okay.
I know the situation is getting better,
Yeah.
especially in our local park.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like they've made a few of their, I don't know what you call them, rides, would you call them?
Playground.
Playground tilts.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So they've made them.
Slides. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What'd you
Yeah.
say? Slides.
Yeah.
Guilty cigarettes. Yeah, you call it a guilty cigarettes and trap.
Oh my
You went there, didn't you? You went there.
Is it confirmed that was him?
No.
No.
You said that to me this morning, didn't you?
Yeah,
I was going to
yeah.
bed reading it as well.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
everyone's saying it's him though.
Yeah, I know.
It's
It's
took a
fucking
turn.
shocking.
We let it
Oh,
down.
stop.
No, it's all good. Fuck it.
Yeah, so my aim is to like bring that up as well. Like, why should a child feel
Excluded.
excluded? I was looking for that word.
Yeah.
Hey, good, Jay.
It was just under the table. Cocaine, is that coming up soon? Is it? That's fucking sick.
Oh, that's yet to come. Don't worry. But just because there's no wheelchair accessible equipment in the playground, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think that should be in every area,
Yeah.
regardless of whether there's a disabled person.
Yeah.
in that
People
area.
travel, yeah.
There you go. Do you know what I mean? So,
Right, so that's two. Give me
Yeah.
one more.
and then in jobs, I think there should be disabled people employed in more supermarkets,
Like pennies and
yeah.
fucking.
sports shops, and like that. For instance, there's a
Do you not think though? So like, let's just say you take a JD Sports for example,
okay,
and I'm only saying it because JD Sports is a cunt of a shop.
okay.
But do you not think like
There's plenty more cunts.
No
of
more.
shops.
No
but,
sponsors from JD Sports.
Nah, fucking we don't need them. We're bigger than that. No, do you know like let's just say like what's the word you'd use? But it's always just packed.
Yeah,
Do you not think like I understand like people with disabilities, but for someone with disability in a wheelchair, do you not think that's like
On the
a hindrance?
tilts.
Yeah, you could do on the tills, I suppose. Yeah,
Or
but
else
like
fucking throwing down the runners down the shoe.
yeah.
Jam.
There you go.
Office upstairs.
There you go.
Yeah,
have,
there you go.
have a
See?
lift back at the back of the shop.
There's definitely opportunities.
I know
there.
my mind just thinks of the floor staff.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
fucking everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, have you ever applied for a job and like give us a couple of examples to where you've applied and you've got nothing back or
When it comes to job applying, I haven't as of yet.
right,
But I did do a CE scheme in a local youth centre. I was there for 5 years.
right.
But that was quite wheelchair accessible anyway.
Yeah.
So I can't really put them down, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but that was the most inclusive I've ever felt.
Do you know anyone that works in a kind of 9 to 5 job, a normal 9 to 5 job that's in a wheelchair currently?
Not really. Like, and
Is that down to everyone not applying?
I-
Because you just said there you didn't apply.
yeah. Do you know what? I really think it is.
Mm.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Eric.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, like in fairness,
Well, I think it's down to self-confidence with disabled
I know,
people,
and I
isn't it?
understand that. I
Yeah.
completely understand that,
Yeah.
and why you think like you're only at the same day with fucking manager job for fuck's sake and a kids football team or whatever. But my favourite, one of my favourite YouTubers, Casey Neistat, was asked a question saying, "How do I become a YouTuber?"
Mhm.
I said, "Upload a video to YouTube. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's how do you get a job? Apply for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You won't know unless you try. But I do understand the confidence side of things. I do understand the fear of rejection and what emotions it might bring up and all. But fuck it.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It only takes one person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm nearly sure. Did I see someone in a wheelchair walking view before?
Really?
But
I
then
could be wrong.
another way that tie in on Eric, like the transport side of it will always hinder his employment.
But this
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, in fairness, you have a fucking electric wheelchair, don't you? Leafy Valley's across the road. Ask me bollocks.
I love the way Jay's just taking out his shit.
Slap a bit of nos on the back of it, you'd be grand. Fast and the
Did you
Furious.
have one of them before, the little fake NOS bucket on your wheelchair?
No, right.
No, I'm probably...
give me ideas.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Yeah, give me
If
ideas.
you definitely had neon lights
You
on
had
one of the
hydraulic-
stairs.
I did,
Fucking
yeah.
hydraulics.
Yeah.
I love me lights on anything, like, do you know what I mean? Do you know those council stickers you get, for the jackets and stuff? Stuck them all over my wheelchair one day.
Picture of Vin Diesel on the back. Batteries, everything.
Well,
Last
no,
night.
it is very interesting, Eric, and like I said, like it's the norm to you, but at the same time, you witness everyone else's day-to-day life. You witness your brothers, your friends, all this. So I can't imagine. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, I'm only trying to throw things out there to get better answers off you, to have a better understanding.
And test my own kind of...
But not only that, to educate people that are watching, do you know what I mean, that don't know, that might think, he's being a lazy bad. No, he's not. He can't get fucking transport, do you know what I mean? Or no, he's not. His confidence is fucking...
And in terms of the... in terms of the employment
That's the
thing,
cocaine, is it?
Should have seen him banging up on the way up the stairs.
On my shoulder as I'm lifting him in.
I'll be able to walk out once this podcast is done. So, now in terms of the employment thing, like if a disabled person that's either wheelchair bound or whatever, if they see like a shop full of able-bodied people, that's obviously going to hinder their confidence to be able to apply for a job.
No, we understand that.
In that store, right? But I'm thinking, like, if there's more disabled people employed,
It'll encourage more
people to go for jobs like that. You know what I mean? So you have to see it to go for it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like it's. I always refer back to this picture where there's a road this way and there's no road this way. It's like create your own road. You know what I mean? So it's up to one person to take that road for other people to follow.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So, do you think you can be that person?
I strongly believe I can.
Okay.
That's half the battle, though. Do you know what I mean? As long as you keep that mindset, you'll get there. Come here.
If I fix myself, I can fix other people.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Fix yourself in what way? Just confidence.
That's it.
Yeah, your outlook.
Yeah.
Things
So-
like this will go a long way to that, Eric, though, public speaking.
100%.
Oh, yeah, it's repetition and you just get better and better.
100%. Yeah.
Come here to me. So, your personal life, have you ever had a relationship or anything?
No.
No. So, confidence-wise, again, like, would that be...
I used to meet a few people when I was younger, but
On the lips? Do you use that tongue?
Yeah.
Right, he was.
Are you good, Mia?
I don't know. Want to come outside? Do you swing that way?
But again, so like, would that be something that you just kind of put to the back of your mind and said, Robert, it's just not going to happen because, or have you ever tried?
Again, Jay, that goes down to self-confidence.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I was too nice of a person growing up, so I'd friend zone people because I was afraid of
Rejection?
yeah, and pushing it forward. Like, you know, like, say, like, you were texting a girl,
Yeah.
and you'd be saying like rude stuff to her, like,
Yeah.
just to see how far she'd go with it.
Shows your box and all.
Yeah,
like.
something like that. Yeah. Wasn't gonna go that far, but yeah.
This is nothing to him. This is fucking light work.
Yeah, I'd love to have his confidence.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I wouldn't be that person to, you know, kind of push it in that way. And I think that's why I'm not in a relationship now, because I never pushed it. Do you know what I mean?
And that's just down to fear of
Rejection, basically, yeah. But nowadays, what's the point in getting in a relationship?
There's loads of reasons.
no, I wouldn't say that. Do you think?
No, I don't mean it.
Do
like
you
that,
think
you know.
it'd be easier for yourself to get in a relationship with someone else in a wheelchair?
Yeah, because there'd be a lot of more understanding
Yeah.
of how each other live.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
The day-to-day struggle of it
yeah,
as well.
that's
like.
it. Yeah. But now this is gonna sound terrible, but
No, go ahead.
it's just me. I'm not attracted to disabled people.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So
Listen, that's...
Each
the way it
to
is.
their own,
It's your
yeah.
preference.
it
don't
sounds terrible, but
But when you say you're not attracted to disabled people, right? So let's say someone with your very same condition. Okay, you're automatically not attracted to them. Really? So even if they're fucking like Beyonce in a wheelchair.
probably if you were
If they're a Beyonce in a wheelchair,
Yeah,
I'd go for a
probably, yeah,
Beyonce in a
yeah,
wheelchair.
Beyonce in a wheelchair, I'd smell the wheelchair. That'd do it for me.
But do you know what I mean? Like, do you not think you're closing off the book there by just saying because they have this? Because, like, the last thing you want to do is, like, I wouldn't close off the book to fucking anyone.
okay.
Honestly, I wouldn't. Not to no one. Because you never know. Like, I could get with a girl. She could end up in a crash and fucking end up in a wheelchair. I'm not going to fucking like her any less because she's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I fell in love with that girl for who she was.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know
You
what I
just
mean?
walk her to
So,
the Phoenix Park, you wouldn't leave her.
what?
Take
You
our
just
wheels
wheel
off.
her- You just wheel her to the Phoenix Park and leave her or something.
Catch me if you can.
Take our wheels off and just leave us in.
Put it on blocks.
It's like that Pete Davidson joke. Like if I'm ever with a board who like a long-term relationship and she's in an accident and forgets who she is, when I go into the hospital, I'll be like, oh hey, and she'll be like, oh who's this? Oh fuck, sorry, wrong room. Lads, you won't believe what happened.
Bye.
Toodles.
But no, I wouldn't close the book there, Eric. I understand where you're coming from, though.
Yeah.
But because you're in a situation that's similar, like I think it'd be a bit. I don't know.
You said it yourself. It's more understanding. You know what I mean? So if you could kind of find a way to like, kind of be open to that situation,
like what Jay said. Like if a female was interested in me and she was disabled, I'd give it a shot. But I wouldn't push it. Do you know what I mean? Because they're most likely going through the same battles as I went through.
But that's what I'm saying. Is there not going to be more? Like I'm not saying limit yourself at all. I'm not saying that. But like if someone, let's say for example, someone has been through similar shit in life to me, I'd find myself gravitating towards them because like that, they're more understanding. When you're feeling a certain way, they know why you're feeling that way. It's not like, oh, why are you always feeling like this? Because that does break a lot of relationships when people don't understand each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, look, I'm not really talking about the mental side of it. I'm on about, the physical side.
Attractive.
Yeah.
Attraction.
Yeah. As in, like, if they were going through some of the troubles that I went through.
That's not appealing to you.
Not that. I just wouldn't be able to help them.
Yeah, so it's like, how can you, like... Yeah, I know where you're going. It's like, how do you care for someone who needs to be cared for? Type
Exactly,
of thing.
yeah.
I get your point.
It's a big responsibility as well to take into a relationship,
yeah, big time.
If you're starting off, you don't need all these extra hurdles. Not to say that it won't work,
Yeah.
but obviously there are more challenges, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But you understand that that's also...
Hypocritical?
You're being very hypocritical.
Because, see, the way I'd look at that is you're helping each other.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't think it's hypocritical though. That's like me turning around saying I don't like blondes, but I'm blonde, so I have to like blondes. You know what I mean? It doesn't work like that, lad. You like who you like.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
That's true. No, I know, yeah.
No, but I don't think Jay...
It wouldn't be the worst
I
thing
don't
in the
think Jay was calling them a hypocrite. I think Jay meant...
I used the
that-
word hypocrite.
Is that what
Hypocritical.
Yeah. Do you feel that
But
way?
I told you it was going to be a controversial kind of subject, but it's just how I am.
No, that's fair enough. Each to their own. Do you know what I mean? You can't help what you like or what you don't like. Do you know what I mean? So, like,
it's like saying you'll only date white women. You don't want to go near a black woman. Why? Because she's black.
Yeah. It's not. I wouldn't call that racist.
It's not liking someone specifically because of something they've no control
Yeah, but that's like not liking someone because of their disability.
Well, like, do you like fat looking birds?
No.
No. There you go. Do you know what I mean?
That's not something that's different, Jay.
Why is it different? Because you can't help if you're
Because you
fat.
have control over your weight. You don't have control over your skin colour. It's a different thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe that was I'm gonna get lashed over for that. I'm like,
Just eat less and go for a walk.
no, but
You know what I mean? You're
I'll
not
be
gonna
honest
change
with you.
skin
Like, I've nothing against fucking black boys. Like, some black, like I'm watching bleeding Ghost 2 now or Power 2, and half of them we bleeding smash up. Do you know what I mean?
Hell yes.
colour. I like coloured ladies.
I'm telling you, man.
She knows.
He only likes them on the web browser.
There's this couple that watch a film. Oh, he's lovely. I'd lash her over.
I'd like
Yeah,
that.
I'd really.
Oh, really?
I like that 100%.
Yeah.
I'd see a good looking fella and I'd let you know, fuck me, he's a good looking fella.
Ah, no. I'll show you someone after this podcast. Yeah, I won't get into it. I'll fucking go on for days here. Where was I going with that? Yeah, so regarding relationships, are you on Tinder, Bumble? What's the story there?
Just have no interest, Jay, to be honest.
Why?
Because I just like living the free life. Doing what I want.
I don't believe you.
No, but I do.
No, I'd say you're enjoying the moment, but I'd say deep down you want someone.
Ah, yeah, there's always going to be that feeling like I'd love to be loved in that way by somebody, or I'd love to have a sexual relationship with someone. Do you know what I mean?
Downstairs walks and all, yeah?
No.
No.
Yeah. So, like, that kind of what stops me going further into relationships.
Of course, right.
as
That's
well, do you know what I mean?
understandable.
Yeah, because it's going to be an impact, yeah?
like,
But you still have a
that'll
mouth.
be a stumbling block. This is going to be the filthiest podcast you've ever
Well, look,
recorded.
in fairness, I'd say you've strong hands as well from the wheels and stuff. I'd say you'd be able to pull the box off a board for
told you.
about an hour.
This is going to be on my YouTube channel.
Fuck's sake, Gary.
This is going to be on my YouTube channel.
Let's not limit yourself.
You're giving all my ideas away. You're giving all my ideas away.
Sorry, bud, sorry. But no, like, I'd make note that, look, I'd poke the box off you for an hour and I still won't be so. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just let them know that you're still capable
Yeah.
of pleasing them.
Like, see the places your mind goes.
Yeah.
I strongly believe if I had your kind of sense of humour and your mind and your confidence, I'd be in a relationship right now.
Well, I'm not fucking in a relationship, so maybe
Yeah.
not.
You either like it or you don't. Do
Yeah,
you know what I
that's
mean?
it. Just say it as it is, Eric. You know what I mean? I'm only saying what the lads are thinking anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't come into this podcast thinking, Jay, so I bet you he could fucking knuckle punch some up because he's in a wheelchair, Jay. Don't speak for me there, buddy. I wasn't thinking that.
Add me on Snapchat, yeah.
Oh, stop.
Hot
I
Wheels
know,
on
but
OnlyFans.
You never.
Snapchat.
Gee, I tell you, that'd be a fucking good route to go. Do you have OnlyFans? Do you?
I'm telling you, yeah. There's a market.
There you go.
Don't sell me any now. We're just fucking.
Why not?
It's not my style, man.
That's discrimination.
I know. I'm sorry. No,
So the real deal, Eric, when you thinking of starting it?
So I'm going to record the first episode this week. It's basically just talking about myself and
a little introduction.
and me situation and stuff like that. I should be out by the middle of next week sometime.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? You know, with editing and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, it
Pain in the
takes
hole.
time. Well, depends if you get it flawless in your first go, just bang it up. No
Yeah.
edit. We don't edit our podcast now.
Oh, these not.
No, unless we're talking about poking the box off another board.
Yeah,
because
which is
Which,
probably
funnily
gonna
enough,
be-
is not actually going to
never,
get edited out.
never comes up in this podcast.
No.
it's the influence of Martin Murray in here. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
That's
stop.
Bad influence. Well,
Yeah.
How long you think they're doing, Eric, for your podcast? Like, what, 40 minutes, 50 minutes?
yeah, about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I think I could get enough out of 40 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
Are you doing video or just audio?
I'm gonna start off with audio first.
And will you have like an A4 page and have like 10 bullet points
Yeah.
to keep you to a story?
Yeah, just to kind of help
Yeah,
myself.
I need stuff like
Yeah.
that too, yeah.
It's not down to like trying to fill it in. It's just jogging memory.
Yeah, keep it
Do you know what I
fresh.
mean?
No,
Yeah.
So you know where you're going with
Yeah,
it.
that's it. Yeah, and kind of try stay on point
Mm.
and not talk about poking the box off people and all. Do you know?
That's
what I
what
mean?
Yeah.
happens.
I don't think that'll go down too well when you're
No.
trying to get the government to fund you for
Yeah,
things or
exactly.
something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you tell the government, look, I can't get me whole unless you get me transport, they might say, right, look, let's sort
I
it
don't know,
out.
Jay.
You know what
What
I mean?
about this for a reach? You know what I mean? Like, Mary Lou, I'll show you a good time. Sup, you know?
That'll get you a block on Twitter, wouldn't it?
I get a pipe bomb to your door, you imagine?
Darren Conway is going to knock you out. He's very close with her.
Yeah, he loves her.
He actually calls her mum, I think.
Yeah, but you joined Sinn Féin for 2 years now. I did. You got 20 quid out of me.
Did you see Darren Conway is actually starting his own podcast as well?
Yeah, and go loud, yeah.
Stall it,
Yeah.
it's called, yeah.
All it.
Interesting to see how that
Yeah.
one goes.
Would you be? Would you
I
be
like
a
the other
listener?
fella who does it with him.
Yeah,
What's his name? Joseph
yeah, Joseph something.
Cookin?
Yeah.
Looking or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, no,
But I think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm interested in all the Eric,
Yeah.
mainly because they're in our space. Do you know what I mean? I think you
Braze
need
is lovely. Sorry for cutting you off.
you
man.
need to. Yeah, that brace is gonna help that head over to watch it as well. You need to pay close attention to people in your same space. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
that's it, yeah.
See what they're doing. Like
Yeah.
the lads on Hard Hats and Hard Chats are starting the YouTube channel. To see that they're doing video now as well. But yeah, like I wish the best of luck to everyone, Eric. Do you know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
hold any grudges. I
Yeah.
don't
It
dislike
Shouldn't
anyone.
be
It's-
that. Like, I
No.
think people like instantly kind of like want this like little podcast tension. or
Do you know
something.
what it is? I know exactly what it is. They don't want to mention your name on their podcast, or they don't want to talk about you.
Oh, 110%.
In case
I agree. Said
people
that
go
to you.
over to your
I
channel
said that
and
to
listen.
you.
Do you know
I
what I
said
mean?
that to you. Like other podcasts will rarely give other podcast shout outs on.
Now I've never heard out of the ones like the ones around us. I've never heard them mention another podcast.
No, because they don't want to deflect it, and that's why no podcast will collab neither.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what
which
I
I
mean?
think is well. We had a conversation with the lads in Hard Hats and Hard Chats saying that we'd collab, but I don't know, nothing really came of it. But I am open for fucking everyone. Like the Soulful and Sassy Girls will be here season 2 again. Do you know what I mean? I know they're not really like in our fucking space, but they're another podcast. Do you know what I mean? If it was, I couldn't give a fuck, Eric. Do you know what I mean? I'm not
Alright.
in it for that reason.
And the conversation we had coming up here,
Yeah,
like if you're in this for say the money or the likes or the shares and whatever,
yeah.
that clouds your creativity.
But
You
you,
know,
know,
I would
you
agree
get
with
found out eventually. Do you know what I mean? There's only so
Yeah.
much you can talk about.
Because once you
Yeah.
start making the money, what's the hunger like to turn up and do another podcast?
Exactly,
Or
yeah.
create good content.
like one or two podcasts that I listen to now, I can see it changing because of success. Do
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I hope it's more of a learning curve than the end.
Yeah,
What
Do you know what I mean?
What's success for you then?
Success for me.
Yeah.
This podcast is already successful. It's changed though. It's changed for me. I didn't always think that. Do you know what I mean? But then after having like some of the guests that we've had on, like it's like I said to you, Jay, like look, yes, we'd love to get somewhere from this. We'd love this to be our full-time job. Do you know what I mean? But I love my job. I don't think I'd ever quit my job to do this full-time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I love doing this, but I also love my job.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But not only that, like, it's like I couldn't, realistically, I don't need money. I couldn't give a fuck about money, could never care about money. Me having a conversation with you that I wouldn't have had if I didn't have the podcast. Me having a conversation with Graham, understanding that men can fucking hate themselves, and the relationships are worth more than any money will ever bring to the podcast.
Exactly.
And I think the message that the
They really
relationships
have been very
create-
good, haven't they? The
Who, I guess?
relationships.
Yeah,
Just the relationships in general. like.
Every person we've had on the podcast, we've stayed in contact with and met up again with, or like it's priceless.
Yeah.
It's fucking
That's it, yeah,
priceless.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You'll-
like Jay,
you'll-
realistically, right? If and Martin, right? If I was to pay you €200 an episode, and you weren't included in the kind of aftermath of the podcast, like you'd much rather.
What are you on about? Just the turning up and recording, like?
Yeah, just turn up, record, fuck off. That's it. You don't text anyone. You don't get to talk to them after. Do you know what I mean? You'd much rather the relationships that you're building.
Yeah.
Like the money runs out, it's gone. Then you spend it on shit. You spend it on food and brazzers and smokes or whatever.
A relationship lasts a lifetime. Like, do you know
This is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And what comes off them relationships then? Like we walk into a room now where we wouldn't have known, let's say 4 or 5 people. Now we know 20, 30 people, and we're like, fuck. Do you know what I mean?
And
we're respected.
Yeah, and they're people with interesting stories to tell. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
100.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I fucking love it. I do it for free for the rest
There
of
you
my
go.
life. That's the truth.
Yeah.
As long as I have the time,
Yeah.
and as long as we continue, like,
You just need him to stay single.
yeah, we all need to stay single.
It's hard when you look like you, Jay. Do you know what I mean?
I don't
No,
know
you're
about
talking
that.
to me.
Oh.
No, remember he's Jason.
See, I'm a bit cross-eyed, so you'll have to guess that one.
Right, so Eric, next week we will put your this is gonna be out. Not this
Next
Sunday,
Sunday.
next Sunday. So yeah, we'll put your link. Your podcast should be up by then if everything goes to plan. We'll put your link in the description for your episode, and yeah, we look forward to listening to what you have to offer, buddy.
Thanks very much.
If there's anything we can help you with, let us know.
Yeah.
I'm sure your brother Ian will be able to fucking tell you everything as well.
Yeah.
He's deadly at the streaming and all. So
And the technology side of things.
yeah, he's pretty
Easier
good.
said than done, yeah.
But look, fair play to you, and stop being so fucking hard on yourself. You know,
yeah.
like there's literally, like, I understand why you are, but trust me, there's no need to be.
Yeah.
There's no reason why your podcast couldn't overtake our podcast. In fact, it probably will, because it's so fucking
Concentrated on his
do you know what I mean? Like,
niche,
you've every them fucking
I know.
flaws. People are gonna think there's
the window's open, to be fair.
you've everything there for you to be able to go and push this on. Do you know what I mean? You could be sitting in the fucking, I was gonna say White House. You could be sitting in whatever house that you sit in to make the changes. You know what I mean? From your podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's the main aim behind it. Like, is just to make a change. Kind of.
you basically want all the little people now in wheelchairs to have a much better life than you. What?
All the little people in wheelchairs.
No, it's in the younger generation that are in wheelchairs. You want to make their life better.
It's just how it was worded.
Yeah. No, it came out better the second time. Don't worry.
Fucking, look, I don't give a bollocks. You know what I meant. That's all. Like,
And I'm not offended by it, so go.
oh no, I know it's just me and now. Sorry, I didn't cop that. What I meant was the younger generation.
He doesn't like midgets.
Oh, I do. The younger generation coming up now, you want to make their life easier than what yours was.
Exactly.
And if you can do that, even a small bit, it's a great success. Like Jay, perfect example. I keep on referring back to him, Coach Allen.
I refer back to him all the time as well.
It makes, like, even, like, if we were to stop the podcast now it'd be worth it from that one guest.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's look. There's
'cause
loads
I feel
of
like
guests.
I'm gonna like no matter what. Like, do you know what the thing with him is? Like, I feel like there's no like end to like the keeping in contact. I feel like you're always gonna keep in contact with him. Do you know what I mean?
Ah, yeah, he's a friend for
Yeah.
life
I
now.
know,
Fitness friends.
Get the chopsticks, Martin. Throw them over.
Bastard.
The biggest thing I've learned about myself from doing this tonight was you can't put forward the idea of people changing their self-confidence unless you do it yourself.
No,
Exactly.
absolutely. Yeah,
So-
100%.
So that's
Trust
something
me.
I've gained from tonight. Like,
But
as well.
talking like you have tonight,
Yeah,
even to yourself and into your own microphone,
yeah.
I'm gonna smash him up.
I feel like I'm gonna get him.
Don't
move.
You'll have all the animal cruelty people.
your
on the-
confidence will grow. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you start,
Yeah,
the feedback you get from people after they hear your first episode,
yeah.
your confidence will grow, and
Yeah.
then slowly but surely, like Dean, you know Dane McGuire, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying that a couple of girls out of his job actually think that the podcasts were better when I was on my own,
Okay,
and I completely disagree with that.
okay.
Now,
Yeah, fuck them girls.
I can see how far I've grown
Yeah,
from then till now.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So I'm actually buzzing for you to get there and see the level
Get
of growth.
going.
yeah.
Even Jay, like from when Jay was always good, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
but his growth is like
Yeah.
he is
Yeah.
like it's just
We all are.
just
Yeah.
another conversation. Now Martin hasn't grown in fairness.
Fuck you, I'm going 11. I was 5 2 weeks ago.
It's all right, Martin. It makes two of us.
Now, in fairness, Martin has come in and it was like he fucking. I didn't
done it
even need
before.
to. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't even need to tell him what to do.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
fair
mean?
play to-
And I love that he like. You could easily feel like. What?
No, just sweating.
Oh yeah, no, we're all
My
sweating.
t-shirt
28
stuck to me.
degrees today,
Jay
ladies
has to
and
carry me home.
You could easily feel intimidated by joining the conversation sometime. Maybe I like, oh fuck, should I jump in here? Do you know what I mean? But he doesn't, and I love that about him because I know that if I was going into a role like that, I'd be like, right, I'm not on the table. I'd be a bit more held back to jump in.
Yeah.
But I love that he just does.
Yeah.
And it's like Jamie on steroids. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I love Martin, and that's
Yeah.
why I hope Martin stays with us.
But
Ah, thanks, boys.
it goes down to
Only saying that because I want an engineer.
He's legit only saying that because he wants an engineer.
you're
No,
hired.
don't mind him.
It goes down to developing a chemistry between us as well. You know what I mean? And making it sound more natural as well.
Were you comfortable?
Tonight,
Yeah,
100%, because I know you.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did you enjoy the podcast?
100%.
Would you recommend it?
Oh, to everybody,
Would you share that on your story every day of the week?
every single hour, every hour. Only because I'm on it
Yay, you
for
got
the
it!
show.
Thank
Oh,
you.
now clean your hands.
Bollocks. Flick it. Flick it off the table because it's going to look sweet in there.
Get a close up of that.
Yeah, zoom in on his face. He has his tongue hanging out. No, there he had. Look, Eric, it's been an absolute pleasure. Again, if you need that, there's his brother now. Look, where
Come
are you,
at me.
mate? Where are you?
Come fucking
If you
at me,
need
bring
that,
the whole
like I said,
family.
let us know. Jay, Anton.
Nah, man, look, kind of just same thing. Wishing you well with it. Don't be nervous. Just like use this as your trial run,
Yeah, yeah.
and then from day one with it, just hit it out of the park. Make sure you get your point across. But
You've been
be-
a black belt on here as well. Like, it hasn't
Thanks
been
very
a
much.
bother to you.
Thanks very much.
You
just be
weren't
confident
the
with
thing,
yourself. Speak slow.
Yeah.
Not speak slow, but just don't bleed and like fucking
Don't
speed
sound-
it up. Basically, you know
Don't
what I mean?
sound even more disabled. Like.
Take just take your time speaking. You get
Yeah.
your message across clear, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
He's
Everything will be all good, and
basically
best of luck.
slating you for this episode for speaking too fast. Murya,
I
No,
apologise.
I'm not.
Eric,
I'm
well,
just,
all I'd say to you is, look, if the confidence is your main hiccup, which is what I'm picking up on, take
Yeah.
confidence from the fact that you've done very well tonight.
Okay.
And also going forward, if you want people to follow, you need to give them someone that'll lead. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
If you want to lead, give them people someone worth following.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? But as I said, if confidence is a main issue, you smashed it tonight.
Thanks
It's your
very
first
much.
time in this environment, you've done brilliantly. Take confidence from
Thank
that,
you.
bring that forward. Trust
he
yourself,
needs a
you're
seat,
doing
does
well.
he?
he's gonna sack us. Like we're
Thanks
gonna
very
get
much.
fucked out. Like
He's all right, isn't he?
He's brilliant.
Trust yourself, you've done very well.
Yeah.
Take that
I
forward.
just want to say thanks
Martin.
for.
sorry. No,
Interrupting
he's
the
showing
guests.
us up. He is.
He's
I
alright. He's
apologise.
alright. I'll get me outside. I just want to say thanks very much for the opportunity of being on the show, and I wish you
Anytime.
continued success
No,
and stuff
thank you
like
very
that.
much.
And hopefully, when people watch the episode, they know where to go. And if they're interested in that kind of thing, you'll obviously have a link up on your
100%.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
We'll have a link for Eric's
Yeah.
podcast. Make sure you set up an Instagram and
Yeah.
fucking all that jazz. In the meantime, you never know, maybe we'll be on your podcast.
Yes. I actually have ideas for collabs in the future. Don't want to give them away now, but
No.
Beyonce is definitely one of them. Isn't
Ah,
it?
there you go.
Yeah, 100%.
tag team.
And see us out, buddy.
Right, lads, 3, 2, 1, done.